This week, during a House congressional hearing, Representative Lauren Boebert attempted to, I don't even know. I mean, honestly, I can't even tell you what she was attempting to do, but she started, of course, spouting off about the lab leak theory. And before she could get too much further into that, Democratic Representative Jamie Raskin quickly put her in her place by using Donald Trump's own words to shut her up. Here is the exchange. Absolutely brilliant work by Jamie Raskin. Take a look.
You're right. President Trump was in office when the COVID virus was released from a lab in China, from the Wuhan lab. And he tried to make that very clear that this came from China. And reporters regularly dismissed that.
I appreciate the gentlelady's passion. There are two facts that she should perhaps be alerted to. One is that Donald Trump, on more than 20 different occasions, defended the performance of the Chinese government, and specifically President Xi, in terms of his treatment of COVID-19, and said he was doing a wonderful job and a great job, and they were working closely and they were constantly in touch. So if there's a problem with the Chinese government unleashing a virus, which has not been proven anywhere, but it certainly could be true, you would have to pin that on your favorite president, Donald Trump, not on Joe Biden. The second thing is President Trump's own special advisor on COVID-19, Deborah Birx, I'm sure you're aware, and I'm sure you've read her book, said that the lethal recklessness of Donald Trump's policies about COVID-19 cost Americans hundreds of thousands of lives. So you don't have to believe anybody on the Democratic side of the aisle. That's Donald Trump's own special advisor on COVID-19. Thank you for yielding, and I happily yield back.
Now, of course, Raskin is correct. Donald Trump did say all those wonderful things about the leader of China and, oh, they're doing a great job containing the virus. They have done phenomenal work. And of course, later on in the pandemic, his mood shifted when, of course, he started being blamed for the horrible handling of things here in the United States. He then tried to blame China. But before Trump was getting blamed for everything, he was talking about what a great job China did. And of course, now that we have these reports that apparently give a little more credence to the lab leak theory, Lauren Boebert's out there trying to push it as if, hey, this is now the gospel truth, and Trump's totally off the hook. No, he's not. Like, that's what everybody's missing about this whole lab leak theory story, and they've been missing it since day one. Okay, assume for a second that yes, COVID was created in a lab and it somehow leaked and then caused a global pandemic. Even if that happened, does that change anything else that happened? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, people still died. We still had complete mismanagement of that pandemic, man-made or God-made, here in the United States. That doesn't excuse any of their actions. It doesn't write off the more than 1 million people in this country alone who died from the virus. They're still dead. You think finding out that this thing was leaked from a lab in China, suddenly those people are going to rise from the grave and be like, oh, okay, sorry, we overreacted? No, they're still dead. We still had mismanagement. Donald Trump still lied to the American public about the seriousness of the disease. We have Republicans to this day, this week, trying to outlaw the COVID-19 vaccine in their states. Florida, Montana, and Idaho are all working on variations of that right now, Republicans in those states. Nothing changes if we find out a different origin story for this virus. It was still mishandled in the United States. It was mishandled in many countries across the globe. Pharmaceutical companies profited hugely from it. Only recently, of course, under the threat of having to come talk to Congress, have they decided to not price gouge us on those COVID vaccines. We squandered an opportunity to come together as a species of human being to protect one another. So in my book, it doesn't matter if it came from a virus or if it came from a bat or if it came from anything else. Because at the end of the day, the mismanagement is there regardless of where this virus came from. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel for fresh content 7 days a week.